Hello everyone, this is Fi. We're checking out Luna. This is a game I've not played before. We're going to give it a playtest and see if we can give some useful feedback. I got the game page open here. It says set in a dystopian oligarchic future where artificial intelligence regularly go rogue. Play as a corporate sanctioned AI decommissioner tasked with reaching and rebooting AIs once the inevitable happens. Armed with your trusty MK1 laser, explore a sprawling station filled with many secrets on this job that is turning out to be unlike any other previous one. Features intuitive 360 shooting, tight platforming controls, diverse and unique enemies, large open world to explore, multiple upgrades, item shops, puzzles, Metroidvania progression, many secrets to uncover, immersive story, and cutscenes. Goes on to say this is an alpha build. Won the game. I assume that's supposed to be of the game. If you stumble upon a bug, please let me know. Mentions a questionnaire form that we can click on. Hopefully you'll accept a video in lieu of filling out this questionnaire. But let's go ahead and get into the game itself here. So let's drop the overlay. I've not seen anything past the screen. It's currently in a window. And you probably can't hear it because I can barely hear it on my end. There's just a little very faint, very low frequency sound kind of fading in and out here. I guess it's supposed to be ambience. It's very quiet, and I also turned the game audio down a little bit for my captures, so I can talk over it. But let's see. The window is like, all right. I had to kind of click on the edge of the window so I could get to the top bar, so I could drag it around in Windows here. But I'm gonna try hitting Alt Enter. Okay, it seemed to just progress the text here. I didn't properly read what the first thing said there, but I can click on the maximize button. I don't know, it might look slightly blurry in the capture because of the fact that it's in windowed mode here. It's not in a proper full screen mode. But in any case, let's see what we have here. So operator, your task is to make way to the AI chambers and initiate a full system reboot by any means necessary. Please be advised that normal station function might not be fully operational. It had been reported that scientists on the station were on the verge of a major discovery. It is paramount that your task be completed swiftly so that the research can continue in a timely manner. Once your primary task is complete, please assist the crew in resuming normal station operations. A bonus and promotion will be awarded if both tasks are completed before the next payroll. Good luck, Agent. Alright, so no mention of what the buttons are or anything here. We got WASD, looks like that's working. Spacebar looks like that jumps. I don't know. This being a platform, I might prefer to use a gamepad. I'll try plugging that in real quick. I've got an Xbox 360 controller here. Let's see if I can get anything out of this. Nope. I assume not. Actually, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try relaunching the game real quick here. Let's see. And where is it here? I gotta find it real quick. All right. Wait for OBS to pick that up. All right, here we are again. Agent, thank you for arriving at your next assignment rapidly. So that was the missed thing. At the moment, the A button on the gamepad is actually progressing the text here. So, all right. So interesting. So it doesn't look like anything else is working on the controller, but for whatever reason, I can progress the text with the controller. So that's the only thing that appears to currently be working here. Let's go ahead and disconnect that. So yeah, too bad we don't have, I mean, oh, okay. So I guess I have a little laser on the mouse. I didn't even mean to do that. I was just trying to focus the window here. But yeah, so no gamepad support, and it'd be nice obviously to have like a proper full screen support. So the jumping feels floaty. Looks like we have a little bit of variable height. Not like a lot, like if I just tap it, it still goes pretty close to full height, but we can get a little more if we hold it. Yeah, it's pretty floaty. I mean, taking into consideration, like, you know, Metroid games have pretty floaty jumping, so it's sort of like you can't necessarily fault someone, I guess, for putting floaty jumping in. Is there other buttons? I don't know what to just hit random buttons. What about escape? Okay, we have a pause menu. Looks like we have continue options. Let's try out the options because that's important. All right, we actually have a lot of options, it looks like, in here, so this is helpful. Let's go ahead and try out full screen and see if that works. Hit save. So we have the full screen and borderless, but I believe I don't think this is exclusive full screen. No, it seems to be borderless even. Wait. Yeah, it seems to be borderless even if I choose this option. Yeah, nothing is changing. So a little funny. I don't know what the deal is there, but that might be like a little bug or something you might want to investigate. I really like to see the option to have exclusive full screen. A lot of people don't do that, and it kind of bothers me because I like to disable VSync. I need that exclusive full screen option. It also appears that we don't have a VSync switch here, which, in my opinion, would be good to add. This genre of game, it's not necessarily necessary to do that, and sometimes this kind of graphics, it can kind of look bad if you have screen tearing, so it's not like a big deal. But I think it's just something that you should just have. So we actually have the inputs here. Looks like they're very bindable even, and I assume button right is going to be like the mouse button. So up, down, left, right, and jump is space. Map open is M. I'm gonna go ahead and set that to tab. So in my opinion, I mean M for map, easy to remember, but I don't like to reach across the keyboard to some random key. Uh, it's not a random key, but you know what I mean. I like to have things accessible, so let's put that on tab. I think that's a better choice in my opinion. Shoot is going to be left button, and then gravity gun, right button, and the vial is E, whatever that is. Maybe it's health or something. Let's go ahead and click on save. Haven't heard much so far, but I don't think I heard anything too loud or offensive. Having the ultra low frequency stuff is a little suspect. Speaking of somebody with an audio background, because it's very hard for me to hear, and I have fairly expensive headphones, so considering what most people will be using, that's just not going to be audible. This doesn't appear to have any sort of ammunition or anything that I can tell. I don't know what this UI stuff means. We got 3 little blips and I guess a big bar here. Might be health. 0.5. So I'm trying to right click just to see because it was mentioned in the menu. I don't see anything happening. So yeah, I don't know what this structure is here. It's kind of weird looking. Space Dock 17. So can I land on these? Oh, I guess I just missed it. Alright, just take a little getting used to, I guess, the timing and stuff. Gonna be a little bit of input latency from the VSync. I guess I hit what? Down? I guess that was okay. I couldn't really interpret what that was trying to show me. I guess I wanted me to press the down direction. I think you can make that a little clearer, perhaps. Airlock number D759, status network malfunction, manual override required. So is that somehow related to this thing? Now what do I press? Do I just press any button? Wait, what if I want to read this again? Okay, and then it's just any button to continue, I guess. Okay, so not really indicating that. Okay, so like if I press the up direction, that doesn't do anything. Left and right doesn't, but spacebar does. So I guess there are certain buttons that you have to press, but it's not really clear because, I mean, I guess you can use this. The down works for accessing it as well as getting out of it. So I guess that's consistent at least. I don't know. I'm just used to having something like a general button that counts as like interact or something that you can use in this case, but I guess this is fine. So what exactly? Oh, okay. Well, all right. So I mean, I just started doing random things. I didn't really have any sense that this, like, when I look at this doesn't suggest to me in any way that I should shoot this. So I happen to do it kind of right away. I do. Is that evil? Okay. It blew up when I shot it, so let's assume that it is. I don't know if it's... Alright, those are things I want, apparently. But yeah, so I would be careful about this because even though I kind of figured it out right away, maybe pay close attention to what other people are doing because somebody, you can imagine the case where somebody might just not have any idea what to do. They're like, okay, this is closed. I'm just gonna go back here, and then they're gonna, go somewhere else, and they're gonna be like, okay, what else do I do? And how much time might they waste, like wandering around trying to make sense of things, and they might think like, oh, well, there's something up there, I need to get up there, and then they're like trying to work out, what do I do? They might jump off of here or something. That was a little weird. Oh, so there's actually something down there. Looks like I just blew up. Is there lives or something? What is this little? I got 4 of whatever these things are, or maybe I had 2 from, I don't remember. Or maybe that's where I died, so there was, maybe it's one of these things where you lose your collected doodads when you die, but you can like go back and retrieve it. I think that might be what's going on here. Interesting. Suit durability upgrade. You can now sustain slightly more damage before becoming critically injured. Cool. So yeah, it's a little weird to use spacebar to progress the text when it's like actually jumping. So that sort of feels annoying because it's like I don't want to jump. So like when it's like when I'm pressing a button to do one thing, but the game is making it do another thing, it kind of feels as if how do you describe that? I don't know. It's just sort of mildly annoying in some kind of way. So now clearly the way back up is not obvious here. There's like a little triangle here. I don't know what that means. There's like a little square. It almost looks like a vent or something, but I mean, I could just jump off and I assume I'd keep the upgrade even though I die, but it just doesn't, obviously it doesn't feel right to like, okay, now kill yourself because you can't get back up. Like that doesn't seem like a valid solution. I mean, there must be some other expectation as to how you're supposed to get back here, right? All right, so that's pretty weird. I don't know, like I really don't see any, I don't know of anything I can do, and I don't see anything on the screen that actually looks interactable. This just look, I mean, this looks the same as this. This is just obviously little greebles here, just cosmetic details. Same with like this line. These are clearly cosmetic. So it's like, I guess there's no way back up there, and that kind of doesn't feel very good in my opinion. So I don't know, and just blow up, and then I'm back, I guess. All right, so tab key doesn't work yet, but I do wonder. So I got the power up. Yeah, so there's the stuff I can get back. Obviously now I can't get back up again, which I fully anticipated obviously at this point, but it doesn't seem like there's any, like after you die, if you just die again, it doesn't seem like there's any consequence to that. The only consequence appears to be that you lose all these, obviously the first time you die, and then, I don't know, maybe if you die again without picking them up, maybe you just lose them forever or something, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get those back for now. Yeah, that was a little weird. I don't know what the idea was there, if the developer just actually wanted you to just kill yourself. It doesn't feel right to me, so that's my opinion on that. I guess we're going to continue on here. The colliders on these are rather particular. It looks like you can kind of get the laser to go through some of the pixels, but like a lot of their pixels, and it still doesn't hit. So I don't really like that. I mean, it's sort of a universal thing, like in pretty much any game. If you try to shoot something and like the shot visibly goes through part of them, but it doesn't count as a hit, it just doesn't feel right to the player, right? So, in my opinion, you want to make those colliders larger. I mean, sometimes it's even better if the colliders are like actually larger than the visuals, in some cases. Even some like, uh, multiplayer FPS games and stuff have like larger colliders than the actual, the visual models of the players and stuff like that for reasons like this, where it's just, it gets frustrating if you're like excessively particular about how how finely you have to aim. And in this case, so when it comes to games with this control scheme in particular, it's a little hard to be like hyper accurate with your aiming all the time, because you have to divide your attention between your dude and your mouse cursor. You can't really pay full attention to both at the same time. So there's a lot of time where you're moving around with the guy. You're not like staring directly at your cursor to be like hyper accurate with where you're going to click, that kind of thing. So that affects your accuracy, obviously. And another thing, I didn't realize this at first when I was talking about it, but when I was talking about the VSync thing, it doesn't feel that laggy right now, but it does make a big difference to be able to turn off VSync with anything that has mouse aiming. That's like a thing that you want, is to be able to do that. So I definitely recommend, get that exclusive full screen to work, and adding in the option to turn off the VSync so that you can get that extra input latency out of there. That'll help you out with just a general feel and accuracy of the game there. Replaying last communication. If only I had a gun, I could get past this turret. It's the wrong form of past, by the way. You get past this turret by disabling its power source. Wait, what's that noise? Sentries. Arg. End of communication. Alright, that's cool. This looks like, I don't know what... Is this something you can go into? Kind of looks like it goes up in here, but I don't have a way to get up there, obviously, at the moment. But so he mentions a gun can beat sentries by disabling the power source. Now, can I like squeeze a laser in here? Apparently I can, but this is just empty space, I guess. Alright, we can shoot this thing. I like the sound effects. I assume that this blob of junk that's flashing and stuff is the so-called power source here. There we go. Oh, there's another dude just hanging out here. I mean, that's a dead dude, I assume. Dead worker. Cardiac arrest. Oh. I see. Alright. Alright, bumping my head a bit, trying to do this weird little jump. I don't know what that number 20 was. I guess you're doing... What on earth? Huh. Oh, okay. So apparently we have like damage numbers, which is interesting. And then I guess like there's a part of this, whatever this thing is, the power source or whatever it is, that doesn't take damage, and then a part that blows up instantly, I guess. But it's not really clear. Like even just looking at the visual, it doesn't really read as anything. It's just sort of like a blob of pixels with like an animated part. This is kind of hard to figure out. Like, okay, now based on what I kind of accidentally figured out just now, I can kind of determine, staring at this, it sort of looks like it's like a little shield sort of thing. And then this glowy, I don't know what this glowy bit is representing, but that's, I guess, the important bit, because it's so flashy. And then there's some kind of shield in front of it, I guess. I don't know. It's a little weird, but in my opinion, this is a bit too abstract, and it's kind of weirdly particular in how I don't know. It's just like a very small number of pixels that are being dedicated to these different things. So it's just like you have to get between these 2 pixels to shoot the thing properly. It just seems a little weird to do stuff like this in this low resolution and this small and that kind of thing. So I don't know. I kind of accidentally did it, but oh gosh, no. Yeah, it's another thing I'd pay careful attention to, like what other people are doing. Other players, I mean, like how they react to these things. It's not, in my opinion, very obvious the way that's meant to work. Because it doesn't like visually read as anything much. I think that's the biggest part, because usually with this kind of thing, you kind of communicate the purpose of something by how it looks, right? But we have so little pixels being dedicated to these things right now that don't necessarily get that effect. I don't know what... I have no idea what this is supposed to be. Recycling station. Recycle your scraps. Space or enter, quit quickly using escape. Alright, so this is some kind of scrap recycle station. I don't know if maybe these are the scraps. I guess I just stand in the middle of this. Oh, okay, so there's some weird symbols here. I have no idea what those are. Nanobot vials. So we suddenly have nice sharp text, which I guess is a lot better than trying to write text in this the resolution otherwise being used here. So it looks like there's a little selection. Cost 25, heals 1 unit of HP upon consuming. How much HP do I even have? I guess I haven't gotten hurt, so I guess I have full, but I don't know how much that amounts to numerically. There is a number 7 here, so maybe that's actually the amount of HP I have. It's kind of, this is like a great big bar, and then it seems like the number 7 is a lot lower than I would expect. I believe it was a 5 before, and then I got the little power up or whatever, and that probably boosted it up to 7. So that costs 25, I assume, of this. It's not really clear, but I'm making assumptions. Mark 1, aim assist. A basic aim assisting laser. Oh, that seems useful. It's only 15. Increase your vial capacity by 1. This item is Nexus registered. Quit the recycler. Let's get this thing, I guess. Oh. Oh, I see. I get it now. Alright, so it's just a little line thing, I guess. Alright, well, that's cool, I guess. It makes it slightly easier to aim, I suppose. Could potentially be annoying to somebody. I wonder if you might want to put, like, tab key still doesn't work here. You might consider something like, you know, in Super Metroid they have a screen that shows all your power-ups, but you can also kind of go in and like actually disable and re-enable them, you know, as you feel like. And for the most part, there's not much use for it. There's occasional use for like disabling the high jump boots or something, but in my opinion, that's a good idea, especially because I just kind of immediately got the feeling that maybe somebody wouldn't like just the way that this looks. Maybe it just looks kind of, it sort of adds busyness to the screen or something, and maybe they just want to switch it off, and it'd be nice to just have that option available. What exactly? I still don't know what this is. I can't jump to these higher places. Looks like there's some kind of floaty doodad up there. I think that's just telling me how to do the stuff again, so I guess I just go back. Secure storage is this way. So I mean, I can use this thing. I don't know how long. I don't really know how these laser things work. Like, okay, I took 1 damage, kind of fudging that a bit, and now there's a lot of. Sounds like lasers shooting to my right or something. I don't know what that. I have no idea why that sound is happening. Alright, yeah, that's definitely a little shield type of thing there. Interesting. So it looks like I can kind of. It sort of looks like I could jump up here and then quickly jump up and like sneak under this. The problem is my jump is so floaty that it makes doing this kind of thing quickly very difficult because of like how long it takes just to get up, just to like jump and then land back on the ground again, that kind of thing. It looks as though it'll lock onto me if I'm standing here. I guess I can, no, it looks like, okay, yeah, so it actually looks, it's a little awkward the way that this works because it kind of breaks line of sight by trying to lock onto me, so that's, this probably isn't intended. This is a little weird, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like you're doing this a little, you're making this a little tighter. Oh, that's actually a thing. Oh my gosh. I feel like you're making the level design a little tighter than it maybe needs to be. Like maybe you could just kind of space things out a little bit more, and maybe that would help. I don't know, it's just a first impression, but yeah. So this guy, the floaty drone thing, it kind of started running into me. Like as soon as he attacked me, I tried to like click on him. I clicked like a number of times, and it looked like the laser didn't come out. Sort of weird. I guess after you get hit, you kind of end up in like a hit stun, but you can't shoot for a little while. That's how it seemed, and if that's indeed the case, I don't like the way that feels, because if you're getting hit by an enemy, you want to retaliate. So like the game's just kind of eating your input and not letting you shoot for a little bit. It feels really bad, and it's also kind of like the thing was just like flying just directly into me. So it's like I'm trying to get it off me, and I'm hitting the button, and nothing's coming out. It's this kind of weird situation where it's like the game is putting all this weird pressure on you, but it kind of took away your ability to deal with it properly. So that noise is getting real annoying. It's also, this is, okay, so if you're listening to this with headphones on, hopefully it's slightly quieter for you in the recording than it is for me. But you could probably tell how annoying that sounds for it to come 100% in the right earphone there. It's very unnatural to hear something in only one ear and not the other. So I always recommend, if you're gonna have this kind of stereo effect, which I mean you should do, that's great to have, you know, stereo panning in your sound effects and stuff. But you never want to pan it 100% in one ear or the other. I don't know what percent is right, you know, it's something less than 100%. It could even be just like 50% or something. As long as you get enough to get the sense that, you know, there's some distance there, that's good. But once you start going all the way to 100, it sounds really awful. It sounds like the sound is like inside of my ear, my right earphone, you know. It's like a little bug that's just hammering away and right next to my ear or something, and it's very irritating, and it can be kind of headache inducing and this kind of thing. So again, I don't know why that's happening. I think it's some kind of bug, and the fact that it's not going away is really worrisome. I'm hoping I can like do some kind of screen transition soon here, so I don't have to keep listening to that. Might even just like turn my volume down a little bit here on my end, just so I can tolerate that for a bit. This is kind of okay. I'm kind of safe right here. This feels weird. I mean, it makes sense to have these kind of sentry turrets, and then you have to kind of navigate between them, and conceptually this all makes sense, but I don't know, it's hard to see like a clear pathway in the way that all this is working, and these are moving relatively fast. So it's usually this kind of thing, you kind of look in and you watch for a moment, and then you kind of figure out a pattern, and you're like, okay, I can kind of sneak in here and there and do it this way, and then you have to try to, like, the next part is the fun of actually executing it, and then, you know, you try at that. But I don't know, this is kind of weird. I don't really get a clear sense of what the game is expecting of me here. I can't jump up here for whatever. Oh, I guess I can jump over that way, maybe that's the idea. Yeah, and now I can't see down there, so I tried like holding down maybe. Obviously you don't want to have, especially because there's like dangerous things that I'm supposed to be avoiding down here. Okay, I can kind of figure out there's like a line here and there's a thing next to that, and I guess I can use a little background to make a judgment here, whatever. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's less than ideal to not be able to see where you're jumping downwards, so something, you know, a simple fix for that is the old, like, hold down for 2 seconds and then the camera shifts down or whatever. But yeah, this is fine. Oh, alright, a little bit of floatiness on the jumping kind of messed me up because I tried to press jump again too soon, but when I wasn't on the ground yet. No, I think, yeah, there's definitely a little bit of coyote time there, which is great to see. They're so particular. Alright, I don't know what I'm doing, but looks like there's a, I assume that's a pickup, power up in some kind. Kinetic Accelerator EX, experimental kinetic accelerator acquired. By harnessing the user's kinetic energy from whatever. This device, I don't know what this the jumble is about. This device can release a burst of energy while jumping, allowing users to reach greater heights physically possible. Sounds a little bit, it's worded a little bit strange. It's sort of like suggesting that I'm going to be doing things that are physically impossible. I don't know. It may be the case that the developers first language is in English or whatever. Press jump while in midair to perform a double jump. Interesting visual there. That's kind of weird. Alright, yeah, so we got a double jump. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, run of the mill in a certain sense, but oh, okay, so we trigger some kind of alarm here. Room lockdown procedures activated. Please remain calm for subject termination. Oh. Oh, what is that? Okay. So we've kind of established previously that, oh wow, that these kind of flashy bits are things that can be shot with a laser, so that's interesting. I guess I have to go to a specific side now, though. Wow, okay, there's quite a number of different lines and stuff on the screen. It's a little hard for my brain to wrap around when I was looking at there. It's a little hard to do the platforming and the aiming simultaneously here. So some of these lasers are quite hard to avoid. I'm not really entirely sure. Oh, is this a save station? I guess that explains what that's all about. Now, do I still have... Oh, okay. Now, that's interesting because I apparently... I'm very glad that that sound is stopped, by the way, but I apparently escaped the boss by just dying. Nanobot container. Suit nanobot capacity increased by 1. Container's already filled, lucky. So I noticed that there's another little blip down here. So I don't know, maybe this is like an energy tank sort of deal. I mean, that's what it kind of looks like. So I guess that's the assumption to make. Yes, I'm not sure if it's entirely intentional that I kept the power up while coming back here. I don't have... I think I lost whatever scrap I had, but I also lost this power up, the little aim assist thing, which I'm not sure if I even like or not, but I lost that as well. So it seems like we have power-ups that are kind of non-permanent, and then we have more permanent ones, I suppose. Now the thing is, I know that since I have the double jump now, I can access different places, but I don't really know where to go at this point, so I think this is where the map is supposed to come into play, but the map doesn't appear to work. Wait. Alright. So I've been trying the tab key, which is what I rebounded to. I tried just in case. I tried hitting the M key on the keyboard instead. Wow, that tracks you all the way up there. I wonder if I can just like... Ah, crap. Alright. That's happening again. Wow. That's oddly particular too. Like I don't like the idea of having this like a hyper particular aiming elements where it's like so easy to feel like you got it lined up just right, but then you click and then it just doesn't hit and that kind of thing. Like in my opinion, I think you should work stuff like that out of the game and you know, just like make it easier to hit the things you want to hit, that kind of thing. Yeah, so I'm not sure if the map just isn't implemented yet. It may very well be the case, but that would be very nice to have, particularly in Metroidvanias. Obviously, the map is important, and this is kind of the reason why, because like once you get a power up, you're like, okay, now I can access different areas, but then you're like, okay, where were those areas, right? Like I have these vague memories of like, okay, there were places that I remember seeing that I could use this, but I don't remember exactly where they were, or how to get to them, and that kind of thing. So that's why you need the map, and I don't have a map, so apparently we can like, I guess it's just the visual that kind of does the sweep effect if you move the mouse around a lot. So I'm seeing particles as well, but I don't think... I'm assuming it only shoots in one place, but I don't know. So there's a thing hanging out here. I don't know if there's a way I can get out there, but... I'm wondering now if maybe the... Wait. I don't remember going in here before. Was this just here and I just didn't go in here? Oh, okay. Only the personnel and Nexus registered equipment will be transported. Okay, so now I remember that was mentioned before. That's cool. Oh, using the beacon will respawn all enemies. Interesting. And it heals you back to full. Yeah, so apparently I just completely bypassed this and didn't come in here before, but this is where the game was trying to present to me the important details of what this was and everything. So I think the kind of the problem here that I inadvertently demonstrated is that you kind of put this off to one side. So naturally, if you make a game and you present the player with more than one path to go down, you can't predict which one they're going to choose, right? There's just no way. Like, and the player usually the player doesn't have like a clear sense of like which one they should go down first. Like they just have to decide based on whatever factors and they're probably, like I said, they're not going to be sure, so they're just going to choose one or the other. Um, if you want something important to be accessed by the player, if you want the player to come across this so that they can learn the thing and everything, you're not going to want to put this in like a branching, even though this is you could argue it's right here or whatever. That doesn't really work that way. My point is, you're going to want to put this right in the path of the player where they can't miss it effectively. So what I would suggest is not make this on a separate branch. Just put it right in like a pattern. Like maybe just I mean, whatever you have to do, but like let's imagine for a moment that this is just closed off. This is just solid. Then this area up here doesn't exist. So this is just a tunnel that I go down, and then I go in here, and it's like, okay, then I see these things, and then maybe this continues off in this direction, and then maybe that's when I encounter this section. You kind of put this off over there. You get the idea. I'm explaining it more than I need to, but actually I was gonna go back this way though, wasn't I? I'm kind of like, I don't really want to I don't want to aim this like extremely particularly. I didn't like my brain. I'm just kind of trying to do it without thinking and paying that much attention to it. Um, so I wonder, like, is it really necessary to force the player to aim like at a very specific spot just to open a door or something? So I kind of inadvertently did this just without even thinking about it much. Yeah, it's another one of these. So I have 9 HP now, I guess. So that was up there. I needed the double jump for that. I'm just going to keep going back. Oh yeah, I remember there's stuff up here, isn't there? So yeah, this occurred to me earlier that I maybe the... Oh, you actually can't... What the heck? No way. Okay, yeah, I jumped down here without thinking about it too much because I was thinking that maybe the developer just expected you to only come down here after you got the double jump or something. So that you could get back up, but apparently you still can't get back up, so that's really interesting. That's a very it seems like a very unusual choice to design it this way. So I guess it brought me quite far back. I didn't use the thing that was... I mean, this won't take that much time to figure out, but that's... Yeah, see, and I'm not really... Alright, I'm screwing around and now I'm taking a lot of damage. I want to do this like without thinking about it too much, and instead what you have to do is you have to like look very carefully at your where your cursor is so you can get the aim just right to actually hit that properly. I guess instead of just swinging, because it's natural for me, if I want to shoot up, I just kind of swing the mouse upwards. That's the kind of thing I want to do, I guess. But I guess what I should have done is tried to like put the cursor right on that place or something. And then you have to kind of... unfortunately, the camera also kind of works against you. As you can see right now, I'm not moving the mouse, but it's moving relative to me quite a bit as I move around because of the way that the camera works. There's a little bit of a dead zone in the middle, which is perfectly fine for doing, platforming type stuff, but it does kind of funk with your aim here. So stuff like this is things you have to consider, but in general, I'm just finding I just kind of want to do it more laxly in terms of the aiming. Like this is sort of such a normal feeling thing. You just kind of, okay, you just shoot the door to open it. You just shoot this thing. You know, it's just a static thing. It should be easy. You just kind of go up and shoot it. Like I did it right here quite easily, but it's so easy to just not hit that and just kind of mess up, and then you take damage. And you know, in my opinion, it would feel better to not be so required to be like hyper accurate with like really kind of mundane feeling tasks here. I would just rather think, you know, put more of my brain energy towards other things rather than lining up my cursor exactly with the right pixel and this kind of deal. So so let's go in here and actually use the save station this time. This is downwards, so I have to open the door again. Doors also open a bit slow, like I'm stuck waiting for it to open before I can pass. That's something that can kind of get annoying. So like the first time you see it, it's like, oh, that looks cool and everything, but then after you've been playing the game for like, you know, 15-20 minutes or whatever, you're kind of used to that animation, and it's like the only thing it's accomplishing at that point is just slowing you down because you're just running into the door waiting for it to open every single time. So that's one of those things I think you have to be careful about. Like, even though it looks cool, it's not necessarily good for the player. What is all this junk surrounding this? Is this like, I guess I need some other upgrades to access this thing. So okay, so I went all the way back to the beginning, and even though I can get up there, I apparently don't have the right stuff yet. So let's just have to go back this way, and I don't know what else to do from here. I just go in the other direction and see if I can find something else somewhere else. So when you're backtracking this much, because I went like all the way in this direction and just found kind of nothing, and then I have to go all the way back again, having to do this kind of thing, it makes you kind of hope, or it makes you wish that you could sort of move around a little faster and that kind of thing. So that might be something to keep in mind. It might test people's patience, but I guess I can get up here now, right? Yeah. So this is a place I can go into. So I didn't have to go back that far, I guess, despite what I was saying just now. So I can go in here, I can go up here. I feel like getting all these doodads, which is also time consuming, but they seem valuable, so... Oh, wait, I just walked back into this guy. What the heck? So I guess I want to beat him because maybe there's something on the other side here, but... yeah, I'm not entirely sure about some of these attacks. Some of them seem like... Maybe I just didn't figure them out yet, but some of them seem like they're kind of hard to avoid in at least a lot of situations. So far, this is fine. That wasn't fine because I was up in the air in the wrong place. Oh gosh, yeah, this kind of thing isn't good. So you kind of have to be on the ground when that happens, because otherwise you're guaranteed to fall down into one of those lasers. Oh, that's still right there. It could be right here, I guess, which you could call the ground. I guess you can also stand on it. I guess that's the thing. Okay, so I can just stand on it. So that makes this possible. Whoa, okay, it's a little particular, but at least it's possible. I like knowing it's possible. I do wish it was just a little more forgiving, so it wasn't quite so weird to try and stay right in that little spot. Maybe just even make it so that you move around with the this thing floating properly, so I don't have to keep shifting around just to stay in the same spot. It's kind of a natural. Alright. So yeah, figuring this out. I like little eyeballs, by the way. I didn't notice those before now. Ah. gosh, see, most of the time I get hit because I'm in the middle of a jump, and then my jump arc just naturally brings me back down and directly into the laser because of the way that the timing works on the lasers. I'm not sure. There's some way you can make it not do that. I would suggest it. It's just annoying in my opinion because it just feels natural to jump out of the way of one of those lasers, but it just seems to line up just right so that you just fall back into the next one, and there's not anything you can do about it at that point because you can't stop yourself from falling. So this guy's a lot of HP. What the heck? Okay. So yeah, I also almost died, but I don't know. Just my initial impression. Maybe it would feel better if there's a little less HP on the boss. You don't want it to feel lame, but Ripley. Did you hear that? Was I even? So this feels weird because I want to save the game because I just beat the boss, right? I don't know. Maybe there's a save point right over there, but I know there's like other places up here that I didn't. I don't think I went to before, or maybe I did earlier and didn't realize it, and because I accessed this in this other way that I no up here. So I don't think I went up here before. So that was what I was thinking about. So I don't know where. Okay, I think I came over here before and then maybe went to the left here. I don't know about this though. I mean, this is all new, right? So this is a little weird because, like I said, I want a save point. I don't know where the next save point is, and I also know there's these other places that I haven't explored yet, so it feels weird to kind of progress. What is going on up here? I guess it just can't go that way. But yeah, it feels weird to go into an area that feels like a new area when you know there's places in the old area that you haven't gone to yet. Because it feels like you're kind of doing it prematurely or something. So I think I did this part before too. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but let's go ahead and go back down and back down here. Let's just go ahead and go through here. Again, the map would help so much to actually make sense of that, and because I could just see, oh, that's a place I can go to, or that's a place I already had gone to. All right, so here's the save point. Yeah, so I mean, obviously it should be right there after the boss, right? How did you manage to get past that thing? You're the one corporate sent. The one they sent to fix this mess. I guess you really did take over. It's your job after all. My name is Series, by the way, Dr. Series. This big guy over there is Ripley. He's a bit quiet, but I assure you he doesn't bite. We managed to hide here just in time when the AI lost it. It was complete chaos all across the station. We're lucky to be alive, honestly. I was starting to lose hope that corporate would do anything about this. It all happened so fast just as we finally had a major breakthrough in our research. I'm assuming you want to make your way up to the AI chambers, correct? I've got bad news. It flooded the upper levels of the station with combat nanobots who will tear you to pieces as soon as you step foot inside the area. Your only chance of making it up there is if you manually trigger the emergency venting procedure from the atmospherics computer. You'll have to make your way through the mines to reach it. There's an old surface elevator not far from here that'll take you to the old mine shafts. Ripley could tell you more about them. All I know is that the miners love to share stories of giant space slugs and faint growls that can be heard coming from down there when you're the last one to leave the shift. If you ask me, these are just stories to freak out the new guys, but also nobody has been down there for years, so who knows what you'll find. Once you make it through, however, you should be on the other side of the station where you'll be able to find the atmospherics control station. And it's just a matter of following the indications to the AI chambers. Godspeed, friend. Your only hope of saving my research. I'll be rooting for you from down here. Come see us if you need anything. All right, so it's cool to meet a friend. That was a lot of text. It's well written, but maybe, you have to be a little careful because some people don't like to read that much. So you always have to be wary of that. And when people don't want to read that much, they're more likely to just skip it, right? And that if you're going to put important stuff, you don't want people to skip it. And if it's not important, then you have to wonder why you wrote so much in the first place, right? So usually it makes sense to err on the side of having too little text rather than too much. Just be careful and be aware about that kind of thing. So this is, he looks kind of like me, and he's got a suit, but he's tall, so that's kind of interesting. I look very short. What is that little... Is that supposed to be a sound effect? It was like a little... It sounded like a little glitch. Like a little, what do you call that? I don't remember the word is. Never mind. Can you believe I only had 48 hours left until I was off this rock for good? Some cruel joke from the universe. Giving away 25 years of my life to these corporate jocks. Alright. Tired of reading out loud. I'll just read in my head. Alright. So again, there's lots of text. I was telling stories about 3 years ago. Alright, yeah, so I mean, I'm not the most impatient when it comes to text and stuff, and particularly if I was playing this a little more casually, I might care to read more than I would doing a playtest, but I mean, I don't need to tell you that there's plenty of people who just they can't be bothered to read that much. They just want to play the game, you know? So it can even be a little annoying if it's just like even hard to get out of the text, like you just like have to spam the button too much because there's just so much of it. Like it can even be annoying just to not have an easy way out of it or whatever. Or sometimes what you can do is like, it can be nice to have like dialogue options. Like obviously that's like another thing that you have to implement, and maybe you don't want to bother. That's understandable, but it could be nice if you like have like short bits of dialogue, and then like if the player wants to, they can like ask for more information. So if they want to dig it a little deeper into it, they have like the option available. That can be a good use of having dialogue options, is to hide more writing that isn't sort of as mandatory, I guess, to the player. It's only for those who care to listen to all that or read all that. So same old things, I guess. All right. All right, we got, what do we call these things? My gosh, my memory's gotten so bad lately, I can't remember anymore what these things are called. I know there's like different names for them. Oh, what? That's not what I expected. Oh, I think there's a little, okay, I see the little, yeah, so I can appreciate that there's a specific visual language that's being used kind of universally here, that this is like a spot, like a weak spot, or just a spot that you can shoot, because it's kind of flashy. I appreciate that. In this case, it's a single pixel, which I might, you know, might go back into the moaning about the, you know, the hyper accuracy that's being required here, but I don't really care about this particular enemy because it's so simple, you know. This look like some flying insects. Mandragora ID card. Don't believe there's any way forward there. So yeah, when I'm just walking in one direction, I kind of wish I could just press run or something. It's a little bit slow. I mean, the general layout of the levels and stuff is quite compact, so it's like it's not that bad or anything. Just vocalizing what's going on in my head here. Oh, excuse me. Only authorized personnel allowed. Injuries inquired in this area will be deducted from your payroll. So I'm still allowed to go in here. I mean, the door doesn't stop me. I really have to shoot that guy more than once? That's weird. So obviously these things are gonna fall down. Whoa, alright. Alright, yeah, so this is what I was talking about before. So I kind of position my mouse directly under me, and then I try and jump over the guy to shoot him, and shoot straight down, but you can see how it shifts my aim again, because of the camera behavior. So this is a case where you can kind of, is that thing gonna hurt me? What the heck? Okay, you can shoot that. All right, this is getting back into that. I don't like the hyper like sub-pixel precision being required here with this. It's a little bit annoying, especially because this can actually, I think it actually does actual damage. Okay. What was I saying? But all right, so I mean, you can see what I was talking about with the way that the camera kind of shifts the aim and stuff. It's a little weird. Wow. Okay. I really want to know what this feels like with VSync off, because I'm pretty sure it'd be just easier in general to do the aiming anyways. So apparently these things keep spawning. Boy, oh boy. This guy's here. What the heck? Where'd all these bits come from? Where they can scrap or whatever it's called? Why is that just... Oh, that's a friggin'... Gosh darn it. So eventually this thing got blown up. I don't know what happened there. Oh, it's a nanobot container. So it's these things. So I guess this one wasn't full. Oh, it says it is already filled. I assume this is the full one and not these. I don't know. Sometimes the whole positive negative space thing could be ambiguous, so I'm not sure there. Log entry. All right. See, I like the log entries. Wow, what the heck? It's kind of reminiscent of Metroid, like Metroid Prime in particular, where you have the scan visor and there's just you know, bits of stuff that you can scan and read in the environment that can tell like little bits of narrative and stuff. It's very interesting to me. Didn't have that in like the 2D Metroids actually, which is interesting to note. But yeah. So I assume this is just visual. This great. This maybe is something related to the power that was mentioned, or maybe that's just visual too. I don't know. I don't know what this is all about. Like, why is this so windy? Is there... Am I gonna have to like hit this and run and like speed run backwards? Whoa. Oh. There's like a little pattern here. It's interesting. So I guess this is... Even though I'm not interacting with this, it's still apparently channeling the electricity there. So I guess I wasn't entirely wrong there. So yeah, this turned into like a little platforming puzzle. That's tight timing there. That floaty jump. Oh, okay. Alright. So it still says the... Oh, I have to... Oh, okay. So I guess the little text in the... Oh, hey, that's that thing. From that other game. The prickly pear guy, whatever, I don't remember what it's called. Pamau, is that it? I think it's Pamau. Anyways, yeah, so I guess the computer text didn't update after I Turn the power back on. Interesting how this bops you up into the air. Alright, so this is something you might want to be careful about. So you'll notice if I just hold left or right and then I get bopped up in the air like this and I press jump, it does a double jump. It doesn't do the normal jump. So you can imagine a situation. It doesn't happen on this, which is interesting as well. You can imagine a situation where maybe you're in combat or something and you're trying to do some kind of jumping maneuver and you end up losing your jump because you get bopped up off the ground weirdly like this. That's something I've seen happen in some games as well. Just sort of weird interactions with little elevation changes in the ground and stuff, like exactly like this, but maybe maybe in a 3D game or something. But I've seen that kind of thing happen before, so that's something you have to be careful about. These are the same old things. I guess I kind of maybe I need this. Well, I guess the next time I get I'll just oh. Oh, okay. So this is a vial. So I saw the E to heal, so I pressed E to like try to activate this, but I guess I'm supposed to buy it, which is it spacebar? Spacebar and then exit, and then I have to press E. Now, okay, so I can see these things draining, and then I get the health back. I have to manually hit E, so I didn't even realize that until now. That these are things that you had to activate manually like that. So interesting. I also noticed that I believe I had one of these full before, and then like I picked up another one, and it said in the text, in the little flavor text, that it was full. But I seem to get an empty one, so maybe there's a little bit of either a bug or just the text wasn't updated correctly or something. I don't know, but something like that. I think that might have happened there. All right, let's go a little further. I feel like it's been a little too long since I saved, though, and that's kind of annoying. I mean, part of it has to do with me yammering. That makes it take longer, but I did the stuff with the generator, that whole little puzzle there. There was a little shop. Just seems like, when you do these things, you kind of want to have the ability to save your progress, I guess, before you go into somewhere dangerous. And what is that? That looks kind of like a stone face or something. It's covering up the little enemy. Oh, looks like I can... A dead prospector. Where did all these plants go? Is that me saying that? Or is the dead prospector saying that? Gold mine shaft. Hey, Carter. Oh, is this like a log entry before death, like a recording or something? Spores. Shoot it. Alright, yeah, I think it's supposed to be a recording. This is probably the same as the dead guys I found before. It's just the visual is kind of partially obfuscated or whatever, being obstructed here, so I can't really tell what it is the same, but I guess there's these mushrooms that shoot spores or whatever. I don't know. Hey, what the heck is hurting me? There's a thing. What? I didn't know that was a thing. I thought it was just some gunk on the ground or something. It's like there's a whole enemy there. Like I thought it was maybe like debris from when I blew up I don't know, the first one. I didn't see that guy either amidst all the little white dots. Apparently there was one that was alive as a little... Alright, so I guess... Oh, alright. Wait. I got hit by something. I didn't realize anything had hit me. So yeah, we went all the way back here. Again, it's a little bit annoying to have to go all the way back, and I'm sure it probably won't actually take that long to go back, but I did do the whole generator thing, I guess. I think it was this way. What is over here, by the way? Oh. Let's just ignore what we can. Okay, what even is that? Wait, what? Oh, there's a... Okay, okay. Alright, so a couple of things. Was it one of these zoomer things that just like flew across here for some reason? Like why is it flying through the air? That was very distracting. And then obviously the fact that the little fly thing can kind of like get inside of you. it's kind of frustrating. Like I couldn't even see it or anything. I didn't know what was hurting me for a moment there. So if nothing else, you know, you can have them bounce off you if they hurt you, or maybe they just fly through you and then like fly back and something like that. Anything else than what happened would probably be better there. I guess I can just leave that alone. Or never mind. So I think more come out only when you actually shoot the nest. So I think that might have been what happened before, where it kind of I went back and it was blown up. So wow, there's still more up there. It's a little weird because you okay, I just died again. Whatever. It's a little weird because you well, I did take like a ton of damage and some weird interactions there. I was just gonna say the fact that you kind of shoot the nest and run because of the things that are going after you. You don't really see the fact that you actually killed it. Does that make sense? It must have been some kind of... Alright, that's super annoying. Some kind of weird bug with this guy he flew across. That was so... I was like, what am I looking at? Oh yeah, then there's this stuff here that's nice. I kind of like that. That's not something you usually see in this genre of game, is that kind of... that kind of thing where you can go back to your place of death and pick up your stuff again. It's kind of interesting to me. Holy cow. Nice, okay. Why is there more of them? Just leave. Leave me alone. So I already got that. I didn't have to do all that. Okay. This is already working. Okay, so I don't have to go and do all that again, which is also nice. That's appreciated. I don't know what. Guess there's nothing over here. All right, I've been playing a while. Clearly there's more game here, and I'm like curious about what else will happen. So it kind of, I feel compelled to keep playing, which is not a bad thing. But maybe I should. Can I pause this? Let's hit that button. Let me just take a peek at my recording time here. Yeah, that's what I figured. Probably about time I should wrap this up. But I'm curious, like in particular, about like what other power-ups might be awaiting me, because it's usually the most interesting part of games in the genre is the power-ups. So I got a double jump. That's, you know, it's cool. It's functional, but not the most exciting thing, I guess. It is awkward to shoot straight down because you have to like figure out where, because of the way it shifts, the camera shifts around. You have to kind of figure out where you have to put the cursor on the fly there. It gets a little weird, but so yeah, I don't think... For a moment I got confused here the last time because I thought maybe I got hurt by touching one of these black things, but that's clearly not the case. So it's just some other one of them. There's a lot of white pixels just floating around. These things are gonna keep growing back. There's some that you're supposed to actually pick up. Obviously these buggers are really annoying. Holy moly. So yeah, there's different ways I can go. I don't know which one to choose. Wow. What? I guess these things just birth out explosives or something? Wow. Okay, yeah, so I'm not a fan of like stuff getting obscured by cosmetic details. There's so few pixels being used in the graphics as it is that it's just so easy to just completely lose recognition of what the thing is you're looking at. So I thought that might have been one of those doodads that I was supposed to pick up. There's also like, you know, there's what, 4 colors being used on the screen, so you can't tell by color or anything either. I don't know what these S's are. Yeah, and also we're getting a lot more of a sprawl here, so I'm really hurting for that map, because if I have like 5 or 6 different directions I can go at some point, then I don't know which one to choose. It kind of messes with me, you know. But yeah, I guess these hurt you if you're close enough to them. It's not clear what the range is though, so that kind of bothers me. I think that's what happened before, right? So this clearly looks like it could be broken, but I don't think I have a means to do that. I don't think I can manipulate these exploding rock things. So this just brought me back down here. I don't really understand what the point of that was. Boy, I don't want to deal with you guys. Especially this many of you. Holy crap. Like, I don't want to go back that way because I'm going to get more of them after me. Oh my gosh. Oh, we got dangly doodad. Oh, hello. Okay, that's interesting. So this is, again, like breaking the pixel resolution thing, but I guess that's fine. Oh gosh, darn it. That's one of the, apart from everything else about the flying insects, the other thing that's annoying is the way it kind of leads you into like jumping into other things that are dangerous, because they're just so hard to deal with, and then you have to avoid them, and they just fly straight at you constantly, and I don't know. They're annoying. I'm just kind of, well, I can't actually stand on this. This is a little bit misleading. It looks like this is just a solid thing you can kind of stand on. But yeah, I'm just wandering about at this point. But like I said, I should probably wrap this up, even though I'm curious about what comes next. Okay, there's a little bit of something there. I wonder if, for the little tentacle-y things, I would suggest maybe just a little quality of life detail. Maybe like if you cut them short enough, it just kind of makes the rest of them die. That's the thing that makes sense to me. Just so the game isn't like really anal about like, oh, you have to kill every single segment, or if you touch it, you might get killed, like I just did, obviously, and have to go all the way back to the save point because you left a little teeny stub of it there, you know, whatever. That makes sense to me. So maybe that's something to consider. But I'm not going to keep playing. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video. Hopefully you found this useful. The game is cool. I'm curious about what comes next. There's obviously a lot of thought and care has been put into what is here so far. I have no idea how long this has been in development or whatever, but it's pretty cool. I do like the sound in general. I think I have my volume is maybe a little low. The game itself, usually people make their games way too loud, and I noticed that the general volume here is actually a little bit on the lower side, which is different. I mean, it's... Yeah, okay, so I think there's a lot of sound effects that are quite quiet. I actually wonder if you might want to turn a few of them up, because obviously not all of the sounds are like really quiet, but there's some like really subtleties here and there. I mean, that are interesting to me. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe it's just cool to leave them in like a really quiet, so like, you know, you get all the dynamic range and whatever. And the fact that I'm talking constantly, I'd probably notice them more if I was playing more casually again. But yeah, I like in general the sound design I'm hearing. I kind of wish we had some parallax in the backgrounds here. It looks like there's kind of a lot of depth sort of in mind in the way it's designed. I mean, obviously that'd be like a significant amount of additional work, but I think this would look really cool to have some parallax effects here. But yeah, so hopefully this was useful for you. Go ahead and let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you in the next video.